Oh, hey, so it's 6 a.m. on January 11th. After spending 10 days in the hospital, I had the last 2 weeks have been hell. I This became very swollen, hard and swollen. The discharge from my nose is constant, but um, I have to get these booger monsters out, which are horrible. I have to pick my nose like this for hours, basically, and free up the alien monster that lives behind in my sinus cavity. So basically, the radiation, 3.5 months of radiation, did not work at all. Tumor just continued to move and grew down here in my sinus cavity, completely filled it up. And in August, I started discharging this stuff from my nose, and I realized that I had to go in and dislodge it like this, because if I didn't, the pressure it would block. Something about this blocks the pressure, and the tumor would build up, or this would get really hard. And so I have to relieve it every day. I have to get one or two of these things out. This is what I have to do while I sit and work. And like 2 weeks ago, I got a fever, and now this is the blood. And now I have to do a series of honks. Nothing's coming out, not even anything. So these big mucus things they're like rocks. They get stuck and lodged in here, and I have to gently dislodge them. And I have to snort or go. I can back sometimes there. And if it goes inside, it goes down my esophagus, and I start choking. And I have to honk it out. And I did that with Gail once. A couple months ago, I was with Gail in the deli, and I honked one out. And it was a huge one. It came out right in line with 10 people in line. Everyone's going, what is that? It was disgusting. They are disgusting, but I have to get them out. So I've been taking pictures of all of them. I take because it's like documenting this tumor in my life, and it's gross. I have to do this like all the time. I have to figure out. I just leave it there until I can gently dislodge it, and the pain in here. So anyway, 10 days ago, I got a fever, and it wouldn't go away. I thought I had coronavirus. So I went to the hospital. Trent came and got me, and I said, take me to the emergency room. And they took me right in, and I didn't have to wait an hour before I had a room. And I had a staph infection in here. Of all places to have staph infection. So that was the discharge was changing, and it was changing because of the staph infection. And this was hard because of the staph infection. So I was literally on an IVI antibiotics for a whole week. And it got better, relieved the last 3 days of that, relieved some of the pain. The kind of misery. It's just a misery that oh my God. So I got out on Friday. I didn't want to stay. I probably should have stayed a little longer. They wanted me to stay a little longer, but I was like, no, I just can't. But then I got home and I just slept for 3 days. And Kai Earhart came over Sunday, and it was lovely to see him. And he brought me some lovely tulips, and I hadn't seen him since I was in Berlin 2014 for Frank's show. And he got very sad, and I have to talk about this shit that's happening to me. I have to somehow be present with this and my friends and get them through the hard part of the fact that nothing's working. So the MRI in the hospital, I had 2 MRIs in the last 3 weeks, showed that the tumor is growing. It's not going away. It is kind of weirdly breaking up and mixing up with the mucus and coming out of my nose. So some of the things that my doctor and we're not sure what it is, because it can be a normal thing, not a normal thing, but people can, get this mucus build-up rock thing without having cancer. So mine is different. It's kind of like, it doesn't drip out, it doesn't drip. It just stays there stuck, and I have to do that. Or I can't breathe at all. And then this starts hurting, throbbing, so I have to get the fucking things out. It's the whole thing. It's the whole process. It's all day long I have to do it, really. And eventually it dislodges and I get it out. And, so, so I've been in bed, and so Darren Chase was going to come over today. So glad I live here in the East Village now. I've been falling, tripping. My balance is completely off. My eyesight's completely off. I've always been a klutz, but this is like super klutz. I pour a drink and I think it's there and it's over there, and I think I drop everything. This is my Biotine mixed dry for my dry mouth, because the radiation did kill my taste buds and my salivary glands. They're starting to come back, but thankfully, one of the good things that my taste buds still taste is chocolate. And I love chocolate anyway. So chocolate, oh God, my toes hurt. Everything hurts all the time. So chocolate is, but they give me this codeine, I have enough stuff to kill myself. I have this codeine. I have 2 bottles of this liquid codeine. And I have 2 pill of oxycodone 20. And I have Remeron. I have enough to take myself out. So I may do that, because this suffering is just brutal. But then again, I'm not in a lot of super pain. It's just this pressure. It's just like constant pressure. And the nasal thing, it's just like, so if I sleep, I actually can sleep, and I just knock myself out, because it's better than being awake. But then I feel like I don't get anything done, and I have to do shit, and I want to, so it's like this battle between the psyche of, like, what am I going to do? Do I kill myself? Do I really want to kill myself? Yeah, I do. I don't want to go through this anymore. But my will to live is stronger than my will to do that, and I know that. And somehow, since a little boy, I thought, life, you get through the shit. You get through the shit. Life's threw me a lot of shit. Some of it was my own shit, some of it was other people's shit, some shit from somewhere else that no one has control over. I just lived it all. And I've always found the lining. I've always found the hope. I've always found the basic need and ultimate thing that makes me me, is that I'm able to find the beauty somewhere, look around and see the beauty. and find it, and that gives me hope to go on, to get through the pain. And so, I think of Tony, and I think of Kathleen, and I think of Frank, and I think of Ray, and all of my friends who died, all of them who died. And Tina Lyons, people who've taken themselves out, Yao Shinbao, I mean, all these friends who've died in the last 5 years. It's just normal, and I guess death is, the older you get, the more normal it gets because everyone goes. And I'm fucking living past through my friends is just a fucking miracle that I'm not sure if it's a miracle that I want. Surviving long-term survivor sucks. It does. Sometimes I just wish I had gone out in a blaze of glory. And yeah, I haven't. And so I fake it, when I present myself and I go out and I paint the thing and I feel good, and it's all an illusion, I do feel good in those moments, and I go out and I express them. Those are the moments I show. These moments, what can I do? I don't want to fucking bitch and complain I want to feel good. So what I post and my followers and people who support me, I try to, give them the hunter, is the survivor, the beauty, the hope. But that's only part of. That's not all of me. This dark side of me is, it's there. And so I get up. I got up at 4 o'clock today after sleeping all day yesterday. No, after Kai left, I slept and then slept through the night, took my painkillers and knocked myself out. And then Darren was supposed to come over today at 5 o'clock, and I was out of it. He somehow got in and tapped me on my toe sleeping. And I was like, oh my God, Darren, how'd you get in? But I went back to sleep. So he was like, go back to sleep. And I did. So I woke up at 4 a.m. I've been up since, 3 a.m. I've been up since 3. I went outside, bought a pack of cigarettes, got dressed, hit the cold air, felt so good. And I was the only person out anywhere. I walked out on East 9th Street in the East Village, down First Avenue to the corner deli. Nobody, no cars, no one walking on the street. I was the only person out on the street. It was shocking. How does that happen in East Village in New York? Wow. I don't know. I was surprised. So I've been up and I've been cleaning the house and organizing and thinking about what I need to do. I need to do, finish the will stuff and get all that together. And oh God, it drives me crazy. Anyway, so I gotta get back to pain. When they tell you this is the last thing. We're gonna try this one last treatment. Which, means there's one last treatment, which I'm going to go on because I wasn't having bad side effects from the chemotherapy that I have been on, but we're changing that now because the tumor didn't go away, it didn't reduce. It's growing down here somewhere. It's not going back up, but it's going in through here behind my skull, my forehead, and it's not like a tumor you can just like that rock a tumor, it's a whole thing. The golf ball. It's not like that. This tumor is scaly and it sort of crawls along my bone structure. It's not going into my bones, although it did last year go through my temple. It is going more through, it kind of hugs the bone structure. So it's up here now, which is it's in the space between in the fluid space between my skull and my brain. And it seems to be going along the skull and doesn't seem to be going into my brain, which that's the end when it seems it gets into the brain. So This new treatment is maybe going to slow it down a bit. Who knows? I, uh, yeah, so I asked my oncologist, Dr. Pavlik, all these women doctors is great. I love them. They're all goddesses. And she, um, she gave me her personal phone number, It's crazy. I asked her, I said, what? Okay, say it doesn't work and it enters my brain. Then what happens? Is it painful? She said, no, surprisingly not. It's not painful. It doesn't cause pain to go into my brain. I said, really? Why not? She said, we really don't know, but it doesn't. The tumor grows inside your head. You can't even feel it, except you feel pressure, but it's not going to cause that sharp pain. So I said, okay, that's good. Then what? Then what is it, as it progresses pretty quickly. It'll start hitting organs, the brain, the organ function or whatever part of the brain it starts eating up. It'll affect that part of my body. They can treat that with whatever. But basically, she said, within 2 or 3 weeks of it entering my brain, I'll go into a coma and then I'll die. It doesn't sound bad to me. I mean, quick, not a lot of pain, suffering. All this suffering that I'm doing through now is still suffering. I like suffering, and but it seems better than suffering, closing down your brain and all that kind of prolonged suffering. And I've got my health players, Foxy, my Will, Pam, and Patrick are getting it all together. We're doing a living trust, and I just got a Paul Krasner grant, so I'll have the money to $30,000. I get at the end of the week. How grateful is the universe? Thank you, because now I can finish the projects I've been working on, and that motivates me to maybe stay alive, slow it down. I don't know. Try to get something done, finished, and then my memory, I'm dropping shit. I just lost my train of thought. What was I thinking? Oh yeah. So we're doing my will. I have homework. I have to get my inventory. I have to work with Conrad. He's going to inherit all my digital media. My trust will have Pam and Pam and Patrick and Conrad are my executors and trustees, and then Conrad will be a kind of advisory trustee, and Ellen Saltpeter will be on, and hopefully Leah will be part of the trustee thing. And then my beneficiaries will be the LGBTQ Arts in the Woods. I would like to reactivate that, have that take place again. I mean, I dropped the ball on that because I had a falling out with John and then medical stuff, and I kind of, lost the mentoring thing, and I was doing with Layla and Coco and Kevin and all the kids I mentored. All ended, so but I want that to continue. I want Arts in the Woods to continue. So those benefits will go to beneficiary of my trust, money that comes in. I hope that I'll be one of those artists that banks money after I'm dead, because I certainly didn't bank it when I was alive. I mean, I get grants and I get the money I need to make my art, but sales, 1 or 2 a year, prices still the same they were 25 years ago. I mean, what am I following? $16,000? What the fuck? Memorial dress. I hope to, I'm gonna see about, what the fuck should I do? Should I wait and let it sell? Let PPFW try to sell it, or should I just give it to MoMA? Donate it to MoMA now when I die in my will. Because frankly, I don't know what my gallery does. They're keeping me. They're fine, but I'm just one of those 40 artists in there. 5 low cap, Dave Weinrovich, Carol Lee Sheeman, Martin Wong, Carol Lee. Me, the estate of Hunter Reynolds, Martha Wilson, Carlos Mota. Those are the good artists in the gallery. I'm not sure if they're making all the money on the painters, young, hip painters, I'm a good painter. I should have, I don't know. I made my art the way I wanted to make it, and I made good art. I made a lot of it. So, but it doesn't sell. Anyway, enough of that bitchy complaining stuff. I love you guys. I love all this. Now that I've gotten this grant, I won't be doing any fundraising campaigns, of course. So thank you, everyone, for supporting me through this time where I just don't know how I would have lived without your support. This is all from falling in my apartment. I trip over everything. I got to clear a path, and I get up and I'm off balance. And I walk back and I trip on one little thing and I fall and cracks my head. I smashed my face into the fucking corner of the stove. I can't believe I didn't break my jaw. I feel a little hurt, swollen down here, but and then I fell, did all these scrapes. Oh well, that's my life. Love you guys. Bye.